So a lot of you have asked why I feel that Trump might have been justified in promoting the vaccine. Something that I've had to think a lot on because it's about the only issue I have with the man. And it's a major one. Wars have consequences. Wars have losses. And it's, up until now, I've never been able to accept the fact that innocent humans that were in a war they didn't even realize they were in could be considered a justifiable casualty. And I struggled on that. But the more and more I've studied the concept of devolution, which you'll all be finding out about very soon if you don't know anything about it, you realize certain things had to be certain ways. And one of the things that just rang in my mind the other day was something that Trump always said, early on at least, when it came to vaccines. He said that he thought that they were safe, but you should do your own research. He made it very clear many times. Do your own research. Do your own research. Do your own research. Vaccines are great. Do your own research. We as a society have gotten so lazy, so complacent. We just blindly trust. We blindly trust whatever the television says, whatever our favorite celebrity says. Oh, I love Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez says, get the shot. I'm going to get the shot. We don't do research. Trust the science. We just say, what is the science? Well, you just trust it. We have to get better at not blindly trusting. This whole election was stolen. You're going to find out very soon. I'm pretty sure the Supreme Court ruled on it back when they were ruling on everything else, and that's going to come out soon. But that's another story for another video. You're going to find out soon a lot of things that you are going to blow your mind. And a lot of it's going to come down to how we just blindly trust. We just go with the flow. We just will never, ever, ever go down the road less traveled because we just want cookie cutter easiness. I had a very, very, very close personal, relative of mine, a very, very, very important relative of mine. I'll say might be so important that I'm responsible for being on this earth. Said to me when I asked them, do you not want to know the truth because you don't believe it or because you're comfortable living the lie? And they said back to me, I'm happy with the way my life is comfortable. So I said, so you'd rather live the lie? Their response back to me was yes, and it was candid. And it wasn't to get rid of me, it was a candid response. So I think the biggest thing behind Trump is that don't just blindly listen to leaders. You need to start doing your own research on shit. Don't just trust. I've put out so much information that people refuse to look at. I've done thousands of hours of research into everything that's going on in this world. Hundreds of hours going into what's going on with this vaccine. And people still think I'm stupid because I'm not a doctor. I'm like, I went to college. I took my MCATs. I lost my passion. I'm so happy that I did. But don't just think that I just don't have a brain well enough to figure this stuff out. It's not rocket science. Anybody with a little bit of research, just looking a little bit outside of the mainstream narrative, it's very easy to see what's going on. So I think just wrapping this whole video up, my reasoning in my mind for Trump to promote the vaccine wasn't so much to promote it, but it was to promote people to start thinking for themselves. We need to start thinking for ourselves, guys. We need to start being we the people, representing ourselves, realizing how important our government is, how important it is to pay attention, even though you don't want to. You don't want to have the uncomfortable conversation with your relative or your friend about politics or the shot because you're worried about what they're going to say or what they're going to think or what they're going to do. It doesn't matter what they think. It matters keeping them alive. That's my whole goal. Like, I've had so many family members just think that I'm like a jerk because I post what I post and I'm not compassionate. You should just let people do what they want. You know, if they want to get the jab, let them get the jab. Well, I would like those relatives of mine to be around 3 years down the road. So no, I don't want them again. I'm not just going to sit there and say, don't get the jab, whatever you want to do. So we need to start representing what we believe. We need to start believing in something. We need to start believing more in God, doing better godly things. And we need to, as a society, start coming together and uniting and listening to one another. Back in the day, that was Benelli. Back in the day, you'd go to the local watering tavern, right? And you sit down next to the guy. He was a Republican, you were a Democrat, or vice versa, and you guys would argue it out, and that was okay. And then what do? They had prohibition because they needed to get people away from the bars, from having conversations, get people away from churches, right? So what do they do this time around? You know, it's the lockdowns. It's trying to keep people from socializing so we can discuss what's going on in the world. That's what this is all about. You all need to start waking up. You need to start looking up the New World Order. You need to paying attention to what's going on in your government. And you got to better start praying like mad that I'm right. Not on the jab stuff. I hope I'm wrong on that, but I'm right on where our country's going and our future that is really bright going forward. Strange July. Kim Clement prophesized it, and it's already coming true. So anyways, guys, love you all. Stay safe, and I hope you enjoyed this video.